Drivers are encouraged to stay cautious and drive extra slow if they're going to be on the roads tonight. Regardless of if the Bison win or lose tonight, there is still one team that's #1 in everyone's hearts. Engineers have been dealing with these cold temperatures for the last 3 weeks, and once you add snow into the mix like we're having tonight, it makes it harder for them to complete projects. Things were very somber inside a packed gymnasium at Tri-County High School where family, friends, hockey teammates, and brothers in arms came together to celebrate the impact Riley Kuzna had on their lives. The boxers love coming to TNT not just because of their bonds with their classmates, but because they develop skills like balance and strength. When Freddie Davis heard neighbors running and knocking on doors throughout his apartment building, he knew something wasn't right.
Next thing you know, I'm drinking my coffee, smell smoke. I'm thinking my place is burning up, so I go over to the sink and I smell more smoke, and next thing you know, I opened up the door, looked out, and didn't see number flames.
Within minutes, the Moorhead Fire Department came to knock those flames down at the apartment complex. They were able to put the fire out within 20 minutes.
We got in there, we got water on it right away. Otherwise, it was starting to go up the side of the building, and if it gets into that attic space, it can run across the whole top and you burn the whole roof off. We would have lost the whole apartment building. It was a pretty timely stop we got on it today.
No one was injured, but 4 apartments suffered heavy water and smoke damage. After losing their homes, 5 people and at least 2 pets are in the care of the American Red Cross.
Right now our main priority is just to make sure that everybody's safe and that they're going to a warm place. And so since they cannot stay in their apartments, we're getting them set up at local hotels, making sure everybody has a warm place that they can go right now and try to figure out what's next.
As one of the people displaced by the fire, Davis is unsure of what his next step will be.
My plan was to get up and go to work this morning, but if you see now, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do.
Tim Scott, KBRR Local News. For Harry McWilliams, walking down the street during the winter could be a challenge.
The snow is kind of the blind person's fog. It gets rid of any lines to the ground that you might have that you could navigate from. You don't know the difference between sidewalk and grass, and you kind of have to guess.
One obstacle McWilliams deals with on a frequent basis is icy sidewalks.
You get black ice, which is lovely, in between patches of dry ground where you can't really defend against it, and it's pretty jarring when you come across it. And there's been numerous times where I find myself having total traction and then no traction.
McWilliams isn't the only one who finds walking on icy surfaces difficult.
A lot of times, the snow, they don't get the sidewalks good and clean, and the cane wants to slip and slide.
Some of these concerns are shared to the Freedom Resource Center for Independent Living, an advocacy group for people with disabilities that ensures public spaces are compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act.
If there's a complaint about the snow being on the sidewalk too long and going beyond what the city ordinance states, then go to that city.
West Fargo's Public Works Director says it's really simple for people to avoid a fine while keeping the sidewalks safe for everyone.
Don't wait till the storm's completely done to start getting out there. If you get a nice sunny day like today, it starts sticking and adhering to the concrete a little bit more. So if you get out there when it's still fluffy and blowing around, you get down easier to the bare pavement.
Tim Scott, KBRR Local News. For the last 2 years, St. Anthony of Padua Catholic Church has had a prayer garden with a statue of the Virgin Mary as its centerpiece. But Wednesday morning, Father Raymond Courtwright noticed something was odd about the statue.
When I was on my way over to the church as well, so just walking by, I just kind of caught the corner of my eye that something just wasn't right, and I did a double take, and sure enough, the head is missing.
A parishioner saw the decapitated head earlier that morning and brought it inside the church. Word eventually reached the Doyle family, who donated the statue 2 years ago in honor of the late Morris Doyle.
Oh, I was pretty angry. Right away, you don't know what it is. It looks, if it's a hate crime or if it's vandalism. I just think it's disrespectful what happened to it.
But Courtwright isn't angry. Instead, he and his parish community view what happened to the statue as an opportunity for prayer and forgiveness.
It's just nice to see how many people are like, well, that poor guy who did that, he must be angry or needs help or whatever, that whoever would do that, there's something wrong. And so it's just great. All the people saying they're praying for him.
Over the last few days, Father Courtwright has noticed a substantial amount of support from the parishioner community, ranging from financial donations to people even offering to build a new statue. Courtright says one gesture that had an impact on him was when a woman who attends the church saw the headless statue for the first time.
And right away she was just in tears and she said, "Oh, Father," she called her Vietnamese friends in the community and says, "We're going to get the money to replace this statue and we're going to get even a better one." And it's very moving when people respond like that.
Tim Scott, KVRR Local News.